I count at least 11 present, so we might be missing one, but I think you can probably start, Joseph.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jennifer. So we'll go ahead and get going. So good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call the order of the General Academic Institutions, Technical, and State Colleges Formula Advisory Committee meeting to order. I just want to let you know that this meeting is being recorded. So I'd like to ask all the attendees to please silence your phones. If you are connected remotely, like myself, please mute your connection until you are ready to speak to prevent background noise. Thank you. So Jennifer, to begin, would you go ahead and take the roll call?
Yes, Mr. Baldwin,
Here.
Ms. Deerdorf. I can't hear, but I see her. I think. Mr. Duran
Here.
Ms. Hardison.
Here.
Mr. Harper,
Here.
Mr. Hinton,
Here.
Dr. Hurley,
Here.
Ms. Kroll,
Here.
Ms. Odom,
Here.
Ms. Smith, sorry, Mr. Smith. Jason Smith, he's okay. Ms. Sloan,
Here.
Mr. Wooten.
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right. Well, with the quorum present, we'll go ahead and move on to our next agenda item, which is to approve our minutes from the September 25th meeting. Do members have any comments, questions, or corrections on the minutes? So hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the minute. Sherry.
This
Sherry,
is
do I have
Noel. I'll second.
Noel, second. All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right. The motion passes. So we'll go ahead and move on to our charges for the committee. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Miss Emily Deerdorf. Are you there to talk about basically our funding recommendations with regard to the various items that we have there?
Sure. Hopefully you all received the spreadsheet that Jennifer sent out with the funding recommendations that the Charge One work group has put together. There are a few things included in this in these assumptions. First is for the inflation adjustments, we want to use a 3-year rolling average of HEPI, which right now is 3.7%, but we will update once we have actuals for that latest year. It also assumes research expenditure growth, uses a 3-year average for those projections. And then the biggest change in the recommendations, besides increasing rates to account for inflation and fund enrollment growth, is a change to the small institution supplement. So what you see here in the spreadsheet is expanding the small institution supplement to the maximum funding amount going to all institutions up to 10,000 students, and then it phasing out to 20,000 students, as well as increasing the maximum small institution supplement to $5 million for the biennium. So that's the biggest change you see. The rest of the recommendations are pretty consistent with what we've done in the past. I'll defer to Chad. We haven't finalized those recommendations for the TSTCs, but I'll open it up to any discussion or questions.
Does anybody have any? I'll just start with the small institution supplement. Any concerns with moving that cap from 5,000 to 10,000 and increasing the runway from 10 to 20? Emily, do we know how many additional universities that will add to get the full amount?
I don't off the top of my head, but it does
Okay.
add several, because you get quite a number of schools in that 10 to 20,000 range. So it would increase the tent that would receive those funds.
Gotcha. Okay. Anybody not good with that? Just want to ask one more time.
I mean, I'm
Okay.
in favor. I think it's great. I love what you guys come up with. and it's probably in here, Emily, but what's the total variance in prior model to what you're proposing?
Just for the small institution supplement,
Yes.
let's see, it's 107 million more, so it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I think this shows a commitment to those regional institutions and wanting to expand this. So, we can talk about it if that's an amount that we're comfortable with.
No, I just thought it was something that the committee should be aware of what
Yeah.
that number is, because we'll probably be asked.
Right.
So. but
Yeah.
I'm in favor.
Okay. Yeah, and I think, we've talked about this before, but considering, there's the Performance-Based funding group going on with this as well, when we think about our write-up, I think it's important that we, understand the methodology that we put forward, but also put some sort of language in there to defer, I don't know if defer to is the right word, but to take into consideration that performance-based funding will also be coming up with recommendations. And hopefully all of these can come together into a single cohesive package and not be with one another.
Jennifer, quick question. When Emily mentioned the write-up, are we required to, when we write up our recommendations and changes to some of these methodologies, to insert the, whatever the financial impact would have been had it been in place in this current biennium?
I don't think there's a requirement to add that in the report, but I mean, if y'all wanted to add that detail in there, it's something we could put in there. Yeah,
Yeah. My thought is we would not include that. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
I would expect that the most pressing concern is what it's going to cost in the next.
Right.
Yeah, and that 107 was what Jennifer had provided on the cost between the current, so based on estimates.
Right. Let's see. So let's go ahead and let's talk about a little bit about the 3-year rolling average on the HEPI. I know. So our recommendation, or at least the way it is now, would be 3.7 based on the most current data. So is that just, we would apply that on, based on the total amount that was appropriated in the biennium to get to our recommendation for the next?
So
Is that how that would
the
work?
3.7% would be applied to each of the rates. So the INO rate would be increased by 3.7, infrastructure, all the research funds as well. So that would increase the rate to account for inflation, and then that rate would be applied to what we're projecting for enrollment growth for all of the formulas as well.
Perfect. Anybody have any questions on that? Perfect. What about the recommendation on the research growth? Any questions or concerns? All right. Well, Emily, great job. Thank you for your time and effort to you and your group. Any other questions before we move on to Mr. Harper?
I guess I don't have a question, but one thing I just thought of that I think I maybe asked before, which kind of connects to what you just asked, Joseph, but if we write anything up on the general, would there be an opportunity to say anything about, like, to support the inflation rate that, it will have been 5 years with a tuition freeze?
So,
Or that
we did mention that, and I think that was in the minutes that we just
Yeah.
approved, but taking into account that as we write this up, I think we set the kind of in the
Yeah.
background that it's been, since fall 2021 that any of us have had any kind of across the board inflation adjustment. So, we basically have been required to absorb that. And so I think it should be and it may be on the kind of the lead section, and then we go into the recommendations. But yeah, good, sure. Anybody else?
Sorry, I just like to keep emphasizing.
Yep. Yep.
in a nice way, but yeah.
Emily, were you gonna say something?
Nope.
Okay. Any other thoughts, comments? So I can tell Daniel is ready to go. So we'll move on. So Daniel, you have the floor. You want to provide us with an update on your work group number 4?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We've met twice virtually with 100 attendance. So just want to brag about that. The two kind of thoughts that we were discussing, one was related to kind of just a general deferred maintenance report, if you will, and one was more geared towards HEAF. We talked about, is there value in trying to standardize and report deferred maintenance at a statewide level? And the conclusion of that long discussion was it was probably best to leave that where it is today, which is with our Board of Regents, and allow them to have the influence on how they want that reported. So we left that piece alone. And now we're focusing more on what would be a way that we could add factor in the future towards the HEAF model. We met with Gordian Sightlines, depending on how you, so we had a subsequent call. We met with Gordian Sightlines on what are ways that we could enhance the HEAF model. From that initial conversation, the gentleman at Gordian said, it really sounds like there's this thing called a technical complexity factor that Gordian uses, which is their proprietary. And we're now going to have a subsequent meeting with a larger Gordian group to further explore, ways to enhance the data collection regarding a formula. So that is the short of the long.
Got it. So we don't have that scheduled yet, though, do we, Daniel?
No, sir.
I saw the email. Yeah. Thank you for handling that for us. So, as we think about kind of where we go from here, I think, Emily, it sounds like your group is, prepared, or you can write your write-up and provide that to us. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. We can start working on that draft and, assume the Lamars are gonna follow similar recommendation, and then Chad, we can get together and figure out on the TSCC piece and drop that in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, I don't foresee any major changes at all. We had a couple of significant changes last session, so we'll just kind of keep it as is, I think.
Sounds good.
You're in a good spot, huh, Chad?
I am, yes.
He is happy, I can tell. That's good.
Come Tuesday, though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, on Tuesday.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank y'all for that. So Emily, you're working on that. I think Daniel with our subcommittee work, we'll have another meeting with Gordian. So do y'all think, just thinking about the upcoming meetings that we have coming up, somewhere I wrote some notes here, but so December the 4th, obviously we'll be meeting before then more with Gordian. Do you think we need one more after the 4th, another meeting just to kind of wrap it all up? Or do you think we can wrap it all up on the 4th? And then we could just.
Yeah, I say we schedule a meeting after the 4th, and then everybody will be excited when we cancel it.
When we cancel. So if I think of how things would go, we'll have our meeting, we'll work on our write-up, and then maybe on the 4th, we can then just share kind of, here's our recommendations, see what the committee thinks about it with regard to any kind of data inputs that we could provide. Emily, you've already shared your recommendations from your committee. And I think the last part will then just kind of be packaging it all together and sending it out to folks to review. Jennifer, is that how it works? we'll let the
So
committee.
it's, in the past, it's kind of been a combination of like, if there's a general vote on the general consensus and somebody might like designate a piece of the report writing to somebody and basically approve the general concepts and then just send it out by email and kind of let everyone see it that way and see if there's any changes or anything to be made on that. But we can also do it in person if y'all want to have both report pieces written and meet in January and do a final vote on it that way. It's kind of up to the group on how y'all want to approach that.
So the last, if I think about it, 2 years ago, I was on one of these, I chaired one of these subcommittee groups. I think I had a write-up that I wrote up. I think Daniel was the chair. We sent it in and we packaged it all into a final report. And I think did we then just share it with the group email wise?
I
Yeah.
think so, yes.
Yeah. So why don't we then, let's go ahead and Jennifer, we could, let's set up a meeting for, as Daniel said, I guess that would probably be in January.
Okay,
And then on the 4th, we can hopefully just come to consensus on all the recommendations. I think we're already good with the first work with Emily's work group. And then maybe a consensus on what kind of data elements we want to report or how we would do that. And then we can package the report and send it out and share it with folks. And if we have to meet again, it may be just to formally approve the report. But is that necessary to do that the committee actually formally approve, or can we?
yeah, so you can, I guess, vote on the big concepts that you're going to share in the report and designate the report writing to the chair.
Okay.
But then, like I said, we would still send it out via email to everyone in case if they saw something that looked, different than what they were thinking should be represented in it, but as the final,
Right.
okay, authority
Okay.
by email. But it basically, at that last meeting in December, y'all can basically vote on the major concepts of what y'all want in the report and then move forward.
Okay. So we'll go ahead. We're gonna have another Daniel's work group. We'll be meeting one more time. We'll come together on the 4th. I think we'll come to a consensus on what our recommendations are going to be. Then I'll get the write-ups from the subcommittee chairs. I'll put it together into one main report and we'll share it with the group and get some comments back. And if everybody's good, then we may not need another meeting.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So I will hold off on scheduling a January meeting, or should we just go ahead and get it on the calendar, or?
Let's just get it on the calendar.
Okay. Okay,
As
sounds good.
Daniel said, and we can make everybody happy if we cancel it.
Yeah.
So was there already one that we had in the books that we just didn't assign? Or
I don't think we made one for January.
no? Well, I know our board meeting is not until early February, I think. So I don't know about anybody else, but so
I
maybe
could maybe send, we can figure out how to send like a doodle or something to schedule it.
what about like the week of the 12th? Is that a good week or not?
I personally will be out the 7th through the 17th, but that doesn't
Okay.
mean y'all can't meet.
Well,
We
no,
can meet the 5th or 6th and
no. What about the week of it's Tuesday the 20th, 21, 22, 23?
Try it.
And
Yeah, it's fine.
that look good? How about
You can do it on the 26th and we can have it as an item for our Takubo meeting.
is that- As long as you lead that one, Daniel. What about the 21st or 22nd? So Wednesday, Thursday.
Totally flexible.
We have a SAPUPSI board meeting, and then that's also the SAPUPSI award dinner that night, so that may pull some of us away. So the 22nd, I think
Would be better or not? Or,
it would be better. The
Okay.
21st is this all
Yeah.
the SAPUPSI, yeah.
So how about we just put something on paper for the 22nd?
That's perfect.
Yeah, and then hopefully we'll cancel it, as Daniel said. And if we don't, we'll blame him for it. So
That's our goal. Right,
Yes,
22nd, same time, 1:00.
It's fine.
sounds good. Jennifer, will you send that out?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. So good. Okay. Well, let's see, it's 1:22. So let's see, our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, December the 4th at 1:00. Like this meeting, there will be a virtual option as well. Let's see. Any other further questions or comments or discussion? All right, well, thank you, everybody. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Dr. Hurley, I saw your hand raised. Do I have a second?
I second.
Sherry, second. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No one's, anyone opposed? I don't think so. So we're adjourned at 1:22. So we'll meet again on the 4th. Emily, Daniel, thank y'all for your work. Appreciate it, guys.